guys, welcome back to Throwing Wrenches Garage. I'm Tom, and no Declan this week, and sorry for no video last week, but that's because last week, instead of putting out a video, I was traveling, which is kind of rare for me, but I was traveling on a car show trip. And so we're going to take you on that trip with us. I and a couple of my friends from my Chevelle Club, the Northeast Chevelle and El Camino Association, headed down to Maryland, down to Northeast Maryland, to head down to the 38th annual Mid-Atlantic Chevelle Show. Now, this is a show that I've been wanting to go to for a few years, but it's really only been this year that I've both had the time and the confidence in the Chevelle to actually make the journey. So Dave and Herb, who are the vice president and president of the club, I'm the treasurer, have actually been going to that show. They went last year, they were planning to go again this year, and I decided to tag along with them. So we're going to take you along for that journey, show you the sights of the show, and I was originally planning for this to just be a pretty cool trip and a pretty cool car show, but you know, if you follow me on the socials and Facebook and Instagram, you'll see that on the way back home, things kind of went off the rails, and you'll see that at the end of the video here. So come along and join us. It was actually a fantastic show, and if you love Chevelles, you're going to love this show, and you're going to love this content. It was a great show and a really, really fun time. Great folks, and a very, very well-organized show by the Maryland Chevelle Club. So stick around, tune in for this one, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, so it's bright and early. Thursday morning, it's about 7:30, and we got two cars here. We got Dave's 68 and my 70, and we are ready to start our journey. We got about 10 hours-ish of driving. I think it's like 600 miles or so. It's a long trip, but we got a beautiful sunny day. Hopefully it's not going to be too hot for us. And we're going to bake ourselves and we're going to drive down. We got 4 of us all together, so it'll be 2 and 2 in the cars. And yeah, should be a fun one. So ride along. I have no idea what's going to happen, but this should be good. So here's stop number 2. I forgot stop number 1 to film. It was really quick. We were in and out of that one. But the Chevelle did clock in. I was at more than half a tank. I just got gas because Dave did. But I clocked in at getting, I think, about 8.5 gallons of gas on a 17 tank. And 130 miles or so. Anyway, it worked out to about 15 miles to the gallon, which is great because usually I only get about 12 or 14. So 15 is great. I'll take it. So running good, running strong. Temp is running great. Knock on wood. Everything's running good. Now we're at our second stop. We're someplace in New Jersey. I honestly don't know where in New Jersey. We're almost out of New Jersey, almost into PA. We're in like sort of farm country, New Jersey. At a quick check, Dave is over there filling up. That was fun because you can't pump your own gas here in New Jersey, and the young attendant had zero idea where to find his gas fill. So that was fun to watch him poke around for that. So Herb's inside doing God knows what. He's my co-pilot for today. And then, I don't know, a few minutes we should be off and rolling again. I don't even know if I'm going to stop for food. Everybody seems like they're eager to just get rolling again. So more than likely that's what we'll do. Second stop. Say hello, Herb.
Hello there.
This is Herb, El Presidente. He's
Yes.
the president of the Northeast Chevelle Club, and that's what we're going down as to represent. Oh look, Vincent Van Gogh. I had an ear bandage. Anyway, we're heading down to Maryland to the Mid-Atlantic Chevelle Show, and we're like 100 miles away.
Yep.
With sweaty backs and all.
Yep.
Ready to get there. So it's time to start up. That's our signal. Time to go.
Time to roll. Time to get there.
So we made it to Northeast. We made it to our Airbnb. Both cars did great. The Malibu got 15 miles to the gallon on the first tank of gas, 15 and a half miles to the gallon on the second tank of gas. Dave just put a new 5-speed in his, so he did great too. I think he did like 14 miles to the gallon in his, so he was running fantastic as well. And he's got a big block in his, so things did great. Cars performed well. My back, not so much. Very, very sweaty. Even though it wasn't tremendously hot today, you know, vinyl and no AC, it's going to do a number on you. I should have remembered to sort of throw a towel in there to sort of offset that, but I didn't. But all's well and good. The seats actually did do great. So the new seats that I put in over the winter from Legendary Interior with the extra cushion and the bolsters, super, super comfortable. Herb rode along in the car, and Herb's got all sorts of back and knee and hip problems, and he didn't actually have any discomfort until we got here. And we were in the car from 7:30 until just now, which is like we're a little after 3. So for the seats to treat him that well, I think they did a pretty good job. So now we're here. The drive is done, so we're kind of throwing in the towel for today. I think we're going to grab a little bite to eat. I'm going to visit with some family later on tonight, grab a late dinner with them, and then it's on to the show tomorrow. So the show is the 38th annual Mid-Atlantic Chevelle Show thrown by the Maryland Chevelle Club, and that is all day Friday, all day Saturday. So we'll be taking the cars there to that. It's only about a mile away. Beautiful park from what I hear. I haven't seen it yet, but both Dave and Herb have been there before, so I'll be sharing some footage of that, and you'll see that. right, so we've arrived. We are at day one. So it's Friday, and we are here at the Northeast Community Park, which is right on the river here, on the bay in Maryland. This is in Northeast Maryland. And I gotta say, this is one of the most stunning venues that I've ever showed up for a car show. It is gorgeous here. It's a beautiful park. It is right on the water. Couldn't picture a more amazing time. And the show is actually super, super organized. So when you pull in, and they will break down your car to how it's registered, whether you're here for an original or a stock car, or lightly modified or heavily modified or custom. And they're gonna park you by year and by the type of car that you're set up for. It's really pretty amazing. So we're in the mild modified category, which they're walking around judging now, and you guys know I'm not here for judging because my car's not really worthy of being judged for anything, but whatever. When in Rome, they're doing the judging, so we'll take it. But I'm gonna take you around now and show you some of the cars that we're seeing here. Based on the weather, it's gorgeous today. A little bit of cloud cover, but it's perfectly warm. Just a little bit of humidity. It's nice, I can't really complain. But tomorrow is supposed to be pretty much a rain out, so might not be great for long. But today, we'll take you around, show you some of the cars that are on display, and take you around some of the sites. I got a bit of a weak spot for this car, guys. So this is a 70 Malibu, and it is pretty much done up the way that I would like to get my car done up. So this is a Malibu with the Malibu trim package, including that chrome strip that goes down the nose. I gotta get me one of those, and the cowl hood. This is pretty sweet, although this is in the dark green, and I do want to get mine back to the green mist, but this is a pretty sweet setup, pretty sweet ride. So check out the judging that is going on. I feel like this car's getting a colonoscopy, but they are really going through this thing.
They're getting into it.
So in 1994, I told my dad I wanted a muscle car, and he found this car. Gentleman who owned it had to sell it to put an addition on his house. So we acquired it for the grand price of $14,000. And I've had the car ever since, but I've done a lot of work. And since I've gotten married, actually, there's been more work that's been done to it. And it's just, it was at my wedding. So, and it's the reason why I actually met my husband. I was at a car show. So,
I mean, you've done pretty much
part of
like
me.
all this work.
Yes.
It's pretty much been you, right?
The only thing that I haven't done is the paint is from 1996, believe it or not.
Wow, it looks
So,
amazing for
yeah,
96.
1996 is when it was painted.
And now this car, so the Maryland Chevelle Club at this show does, how do they refer to when you get your medallions? Is it like a classification?
Right, so
or?
you could get pointed.
Pointed, okay.
Yes. So this is a mild custom. It's a very mild custom.
Okay.
Because I have an aftermarket engine that was offered only over the counter. It's an LS7.
Okay.
And I kept manifolds on it. So it's like it would have been if it was offered over the counter.
Okay.
But I do, because of that, TKO 600 transmission. I have electric cutouts, and I have a different rear end in the car. So because of that, I'm in a mild cut modified.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, and for reference, my car, which is represents like nothing from the stock showroom floor, is
Right.
also mild
And
modified.
This
So,
is
apples and
very
oranges, really.
mildly modified.
Yeah.
So this is my, if they were to make it,
Right.
and this is how it would come out of the showroom floor.
Amazing car.
So that's
Absolutely
how this came to be. But the paint is the only thing that really I haven't done on the car. Everything else my husband and I have touched.
It's fantastic.
So we changed, when I first got the car, everything was chrome. So little by little I've been changing it back so that it looks more stock.
It's awesome.
We put the transmission in, we did all the wiring, you know, all the detail we do ourselves.
Yep.
Anything like that is all us. We changed out the 8-track this year, so we've had the dash apart twice, and
Which is always fun.
Right.
Having the dash apart in these
I
cars is always
refinished the
a joy.
mirror, you know, so we get our hands into all of it.
And we can always know when it's Marnie coming because she has the SS Girl plate. So if there's any question about what that red Chevelle is, Marnie,
Right.
we know right away.
So SS Girl came to be when I was in 94. I was going to local shows, and all of the people who are my parents' age that were going to the car shows, I was 19.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, here she comes, the SS Girl. So
It's perfect.
I
You
was
earned that
dubbed.
name.
Yes.
You earned the moniker. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for talking to us.
You're
This is
welcome.
great.
Thanks.
So we are about to head out on a poker run. This is going to be a cool little background drive or back roads drive. So come along with us on that. I think we're going to get some ice cream at the end too. So after a full first day out in the sunshine, enjoying all these beautiful cars, we went on a poker run, which was pretty cool. It started at the hotel that everybody was staying at, and we had just a couple of stops, grabbing a couple of cards along the way, and just enjoying this scenic drive through the back roads of Maryland, a little bit into Pennsylvania. Really, really cool, beautiful scenic drive. The weather was cooling off just enough at the sunset to cool us down a little bit and enjoy the breeze through the cabin of the car. It was really pretty awesome and a great way to sort of end the day with a nice little cruise. Not a bad letdown after the day before with all of our driving. So this was a nice way to sort of cool it off. Then after we were done with our cruise, if you wanted to, the drag strip was open. Now we didn't actually make it to the drag strip. Both Dave and I were a little bit worried about the idea of bringing our cars, which we had to rely on to drive about 400 miles home, to the drag strip and then breaking them once we were there. So we decided to take a shine on the drag strip, but 6 or 7 cars did go down and actually put in some pretty good times. But we decided instead to just skip that and go straight to the hotel. But before that, ice cream. Stopped off at an awesome little ice cream place and had some fantastic cones. And then retired back to the hotel with the rest of the game to hang out in the parking lot, share some good times, maybe have a little adult beverage, and then just hang out and enjoy everybody's company before day 2. All right, so day 2 of the show now. We're getting ready to go. It's a little bit cloudy. There's definitely some rain moving through the area, but it's not a soaker. So hoping it's going to be a good turnout again today. And let's ride with us and check it out. So day 2 of the show, they actually do an opening ceremony, which was actually pretty cool. They have some kids from a local high school Navy program come in and do a color guard presentation, and then they had veterans from the club come in red, white, and blue Chevelles. And the club does a pretty cool thing where they feature the anniversary year of Chevelle every year, and this year being 2026, it's the 1966 Chevelle. So they had a red, white, and blue Chevelle, each one with veterans riding inside, and they came in to really cool patriotic music, which is awesome and also very copyrighted, so I had to drop that out here so you can't hear it, but trust me, it was great. But unfortunately, just minutes after this ceremony ended, the skies just opened up. And when they did, they didn't close for about an hour and a half. It was just a downpour constantly for about 90 minutes. So we got soggy and hid underneath our tent off to the side and just tried to keep dry as well as we could and wait it out. Watching our phones lie to us with the weather reports and the radar that said this would be over in 10 minutes consistently for about an hour and a half. But finally, it did dry up. It stopped raining. The sun even broke out a couple of times. And the good news was it really never rained again the rest of the day. It was just pretty bright and occasionally sunny for the rest of the afternoon, and we got to enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the cars. Most of the guys didn't even put their cars back on a trailer. We just went out and wiped them all down and continued on with the day, had a little bit of lunch, and continued on.
All right, Best Paint, sponsored by R&M Performance, represented by Albert Gold. Car number 1, Anthony Cicerello, 70SS, green.
Well, we're on the road home, somewhere in Jersey. Stopped for the first heat break. Cars are still humming along great. Weather's holding up with us. We got a little bit of sun poking through, which is nice. Cars are running cool and running sweet. Allegedly doing somewhere around 80 miles an hour, maybe somewhere. Closed roads, professional drivers. But yeah, everything's running great. So trying to make a beeline home, trying to get home early enough so we can get home and rest up for the day before everybody's got to work tomorrow. So a little bit of a boring drive, but expeditious. So trying to get back. So yeah, so far so good. Hopefully it's quick and easy. Yeah. Yeah, guess who spoke too soon? Literally pulling out of the rest area. Dave stalled out. So,
Yep, as
We
soon
got
as I
to-
said the car's wasn't perfect.
yeah, you cursed it. I didn't say perfect. I said everything was going well so far.
No, I said the car's wasn't perfect.
Yeah. So we think we just pulled out the filter and, well, let's look. That came out of it. All of that. It was pretty caked up with dirt, so we're thinking that's what it was because it was trying to turn over. So we definitely had spark. We took measurements. We definitely had spark at the ignition, at the cap. Battery's good, but that filter was full of junk. So hopefully we turn a key and we get success now. But better here than in the left lane doing 80 on the New Jersey Turnpike. It's gonna take a minute to get the gas back up. You're gonna get it now. Spray some in. Give it some gas. When it starts to turn,
Pump it.
I'm hearing a knock I don't like.
Well, that's because of the ether. No more ether.
Yeah.
The knocking is from the ether.
Yeah.
I heard it.
All right, the roadside update is worser, not gooder. So we've done a few things. We've checked for air fuel spark. So we've gone ahead and thrown my voltage meter on. We are getting 12 volts at the distributor, at the HEI. So that's not it. We're getting our spark there. All the spark plug boots are on. The fuel is working. We did have a very, very cruddy filter, but that's been cleaned out and reconnected. And every time we crank this thing and go back and check that filter again, the filter's clear. And every time we disconnect that fuel line, we've got a lot of pressure built up into the fuel line. So we are getting fuel pressure. That fuel pump is pumping. We are seeing fuel squirt from the squirters in the carburetor. So we are getting fuel squirting from the carburetor into the motor. So we know we're getting that. The motor sounds like it wants to kick. We tried spraying some starter fluid in there and it does sound like it wants to kick, but it's not turning over for us. So we've got air, we've got fuel, we've got spark. Honestly, the last thing is, sadly, compression. Oil looks good. We just pulled a dipstick on that and that looks nice and clear. So that's fine. Dave just went inside to get our location. He's actually going to call for roadside assistance and see about getting this towed home. But we are still going to mess with it on the side of the road. And I just took the plugs out, and I'll show you those. So these are the plugs, and they're all pretty consistent. I mean, they could use a change, but I wouldn't say that any of these look to me like they say your engine's not going to start with those in it. So we don't think those are the culprits, and none of them are broken, none of them are smashed. So I don't think that's it. So we've got the holy trinity of air, fuel, and spark. Those are happening, so it should run. That means that there's likely something else a little bit more serious going on. If we were really stuck here and we were really dedicated to getting this home under its own power, the next step for me would be to pull the valve covers off and see if we've got something wrong in the valve train, which would be my next guess at what might be busted in this. Is that maybe we've got a valve that took a holiday, or maybe a rocker that's bad. I don't know. But, you know, windows down, engine loud, you might not necessarily hear a problem in your valve train, and now this thing just finally gave up the ghost. It could happen. But we'll see what happens. More than likely, we're not going to get this thing started again here, and we are, in fact, going to have to get this thing trailered home. All right, so we got an update. We have angels who came by. So Ed and Kim Fisher, who are members of the Maryland Club and members of our club, actually stopped by. They happened to stop at this rest area kind of by accident. And Ed is a whiz. Someday we'll cover his cars because Ed's got some amazing Chevelles. But Ed came by, we talked over what we had done and what we had found, and Ed had a really good idea. He said, you know, this is probably the coil pickup in the distributor. You can have the one out of my car that I've actually got inside the trailer. And just buy me a new one, and we'll get that taken care of later. So we just took the distributor out of Dave's big block, and he's pulling the distributor out of his. We're going to swap distributors and see if that works, because everything else is working, right? We're getting this air, fuel, spark. But we did check one thing that we hadn't checked before, and that is to see if we were getting spark at the spark plug. So we double checked that, and in fact, we were not. So no spark at the spark plugs, which indicates we got either a bad HEI coil or a bad distributor. So we're thinking it's bad distributor because HEI coils almost never go bad. So we'll see if that's what it is, and we're going to go ahead and fix it.
Just bump it.
Yeah,
So,
all right.
You're good with the firing order. Kind of figured that. Could be. Should we keep?
It's our most likely thing at this point. So we know we're getting fuel, we know we're getting air. We know we have power to that. So that means that's what's failing, somewhere between the cap and the distributor. So it's either the coil or it's the pickup.
If we were near a parts store, we would just buy one of those.
Yeah, but you know what's funny now? A lot of parts stores don't stock this stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
O'Reilly's maybe.
yeah, if you get a good one. All right, so the current situation is we've decided to load the car up. We tried to swap over to the MSD, but the driver showed up like really early. He showed up pretty fast. So he wasn't going to sit around and wait for us. And what he informed us of is that there is an auto zone right near where he needs to drop us off. So he's just going to drop us off at the auto zone, and we're going to see if we can't go in there and just get a new HEI distributor instead of trying to jury rig Ed's MSD distributor into this thing. So that's the shorter path, we think. And to be honest, in order to get AAA to pick us up, which is what we would need to bring us all the way home, we frankly need to be off the pike anyway. So we need this guy to get us off the pike. So this is a necessary jump if we can't get this thing running anyway. So we're going to take it. Well, we have snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. we're pretty certain that the coil pickup is probably what's dead in this thing. According to Ed, his experience, which is more vast than mine, that's the thing that goes most frequently in these things. And that's probably all we need to replace. But unfortunately, the AutoZone that's right across the street and all of the auto parts stores in an area, a big area around here, are either closed or don't have it. So Dave's calling AAA now to get them to come and put this thing on a flatbed and tug it home. So unfortunately, it looks like we're all piling into the Chevelle, my Chevelle, and we'll cruise that thing home once AAA comes. But unfortunately, Dave's car is down, so can't get it back up. I was hoping we'd have a victory here and we get this thing running, but no such luck. All right, so this is not how we wanted to end this one.
It's not a bad breakdown, though. You can't make it worse at a breakdown. You just deal with it and have yourself a beer and relax.
Yeah.
It's hot out, but the beer's cold.
Yeah.
Car's not running, but we're still running.
So we're making do, killing time in Chili's until the guy comes, and tows Dave's car to some faceless shop in someplace in Jersey.
It'll probably
For
get
it to
sold
get-
on Facebook Marketplace for like $2,000.
Yeah, so if you see a stripped out shell of a 68 Chevelle for sale on Facebook Marketplace,
Let us know.
you know where that's from. But yeah, so, well, we got a story. And now I completely believe YouTubers who take road trips and then have problems that it's not made up.
Yeah.
Like you take old cars on
Real life drama,
on
yeah.
road trips,
Yeah.
and you know stuff happens. So this is where we're at.
Never sweat it out.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
If we didn't have problems, we would have been home in 20 minutes.
It could be worse. It could be raining, or it could be really hot, or
Why do we want to be home?
we could have wrapped it around something.
I'm just
But
saying.
here we are. At least we got food coming, and
You have to go home and mow the
and the
lawn.
beer's going down, so it works.
Yep.
And this is what happens when your tow truck driver is a car guy. He wants to actually see the motor. So this is going to take us longer than we wanted. So we had to do a little bit of gear shuffling because now that Dave and Darlene and Herb are coming back with me in my car, and their car is not going to be with them until maybe tomorrow, we had to get some of their stuff that they needed back into my car, which meant I had to take some of the stuff that I don't need right away and take it out of my car, move it into their car. So we had a little shuffling to do before the guy could flatbed it.
Here we go again.
Well, we made it safely back home, and I made it back into the garage late that night. I actually gave myself a little bit of time to unpack and rest before I came down here and made a little outro. And then I got to editing and saw how many times in that video during the troubleshoot, as we were broken down on the side of the road, that I said, "We've got spark." And I wanted to punch myself in the face. I can't even imagine what you guys wanted to do. I feel like we could have turned this episode into a drinking game. Clearly we didn't have spark, guys. And that's the thing that I learned from this. So hopefully you guys know I've never passed myself off as an expert. I'm just a guy who loves cars, who works a lot on cars, but I got a lot to learn, and I'm still learning as I go. So I went through the troubleshoot checklist as best as I could, and I measured the voltage at the distributor, and I even checked the distributor cap. I took it off, which you didn't see on the camera, and checked it for cracks and checked the rotor and even filed down the rotor and cleaned it up. And I thought, we must be getting spark, because I was listening to that engine trying to turn. I thought we had spark. So what I failed to do was to pull one of those plugs, put it in the spark plug boot, turn the engine over, and see if I was getting spark from the plug grounding it against something metal. That's what we did when Ed got there, because Ed is a smart guy who's been around the block a couple times. So as soon as he suggested doing that, I went, oh crap, right, I missed that part. So I never actually confirmed that we were in fact getting spark inside the combustion chamber. That's the big miss. And it's the big learning point that I actually took from this. The failure that I had in my troubleshoot, I drove pretty far down figuring out, are we getting fuel, are we getting air? I did those ones right. I didn't drive the spark thing down far enough. I drove it to figuring out that we were getting voltage to the cap. I even figured out, is the cap and the rotor intact? Are they working? But I actually kind of skipped a step. I shouldn't have even gone to taking the cap and the rotor off. I should have just gone to pulling a plug and then holding that up to a piece of metal and just turning the car over and seeing if it was getting spark. It would have been a hell of a lot easier, and we would have found out that much quicker that in fact we weren't getting spark. Then we could have done things like taking off the cap, turning the engine over, seeing if the rotor was turning. We could have done all the things that we did once Ed got there. So lesson learned on my end. Hopefully that wasn't too brutally painful for you to watch. It was real painful for me to watch, but you know, it's hard to watch yourself make mistakes in hindsight and see how bad you screwed something up. I hate watching myself do that, but I really just hate getting things wrong, especially when we're on the side of the road and could have gotten something right. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't have fixed anything anyway because that stupid part was irreplaceable. Turns out there are really no O'Reilly's Auto Parts like in the state of New Jersey. And I'm pretty convinced that O'Reilly's is the only place that we would have had a shot at going to get that control module that goes inside of an HEI distributor. When we came home, Dave actually got his car back that night. The tow truck driver actually delivered that car to him at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And then Dave went out Monday morning, went to an O'Reilly's, got that part, the little ECM module that sits inside the distributor, threw that in the car, fired it up, running like a top. So that was the problem, confirmed. That was the issue. The car is now running. So everybody who was armchairing, thinking about what it could have been, that was it. And we did, off camera, you didn't see it, but Ed did have us turn the motor over with the cap off, and he did confirm that the rotor was turning when the motor was turning over, which eliminated a mechanical failure, like maybe the keyway on the crank being sheared off, or maybe something on a distributor gear or cam gear being broken and not actually engaging the rotor. That wasn't the case because the rotor was turning with the engine. So we knew that was okay. It was really down to something in that distributor was off, and it was likely something electric. The best we can figure, that thing somehow melted down in the heat of that drive, and just in those couple minutes that we were in the rest area, things sort of cooled well enough that somehow it congealed and screwed up that electrical connection. And when we got going again, it just gave up the ghost. So it was a bummer, but in hindsight, it could have been a lot worse. That could have happened while we were at speed on the highway. It could have happened in a spot where there was no place to pull over in a breakdown lane. I mean, there's a million things that could have gone wrong. It could have happened in the middle of the pouring rain. It could have been a lot hotter than it really was. So we got to take our blessings where we can. Dave took it like a champ. He was in a really right frame of mind for it. So kudos to him for taking it so well. And all's well and right in the world. We all got home okay. And we actually got home before dark. So no big complaints from us. And it was a road adventure. So it took what was going to be sort of a silly little simple video about a car show and turned it into a road adventure. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed watching me make an ass out of myself on the side of the road. And thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed that, trust me, there'll be plenty more of me making mistakes. So if you liked watching that, tune in for more. Please like and subscribe to check us out more. And until we see you next time, keep throwing wrenches.